My manager told me something that made me walk out of my job at 2 a.m. with zero regrets. I was working overnight security at a downtown office building. I'd been there for 8 months, pulling 12-hour shifts, trying to save up for my kid's surgery. My daughter, Emma, needed a procedure that insurance wouldn't fully cover, and I was still about $3,000 short. The job wasn't glamorous. Most nights I'd patrol empty hallways, check locks, and stare at security monitors that showed nothing but dark offices and parking garages. The hardest part was just staying awake until 6 in the morning. But the pay was decent, and my supervisor, Derek, usually left me alone. Emma was born with a rare throat condition that had gotten worse over the past year. Her voice was fading, getting weaker. The specialist said if she didn't get surgery soon, she might lose the ability to speak entirely. She was only 7. The thought of her never being able to tell me she loved me again, that thought is what kept me grinding through those long, brutal overnight shifts. Tuesday night started like any other. I'd done my 11 p.m. rounds, then settled at the security desk with my thermos of coffee and a sandwich. The building was quiet, as always, 3 floors of insurance companies and a law firm, all closed for the night. Then, at 1:30 a.m., my phone rang. It was Sarah, Emma's mom, and she was hysterical. "Marcus, something's wrong." Emma woke up gasping for air. Her throat is closing up. "We're at the ER. The doctors say we can't wait until next month for the surgery. They need to operate first thing tomorrow morning or she could suffocate." My heart stopped. The surgery we'd been planning and saving for suddenly wasn't some distant date, it was happening in a few hours. I could hear Emma crying faintly in the background, her little voice barely a whisper. "I need you here," Sarah said. "She keeps asking for Daddy. They're prepping her in an hour." I didn't even hesitate. I called Derek. He lived 10 minutes away and had covered shifts before. The building would be fine for a few hours, it was a Tuesday night downtown. Nothing ever happened. "Derek, it's Marcus," I said. "This is a family emergency. My daughter's at the hospital. She needs emergency surgery. I need to leave, can you come in and cover the last 4 hours of my shift?" There was a long pause. Then Derek's voice came through, annoyed and slurred. I realized he'd been drinking. "Not my problem, Marcus. You signed up for overnight security. Either finish your shift or find yourself a new job." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Derek, this is my 7-year-old daughter. She might lose her voice forever if she doesn't get this surgery. I've never called out once in 8 months. He cut me off with a bitter laugh. "Everyone's got sob stories, man. I've got a golf tournament at 7 a.m. with some potential investors. I need my beauty sleep. Figure it out or you're fired." I stared at the phone in disbelief. My little girl was fighting to keep her voice, and this guy was worried about a golf game. That's when something inside me snapped. I looked around at the empty lobby I was supposedly protecting, an office building full of insurance adjusters and lawyers who wouldn't even know if someone robbed the place until Monday morning. Absolutely nothing here was more important than hearing my daughter's voice again. I stood up, walked to Derek's office on the 2nd floor. He was there, playing solitaire on his computer, a beer bottle sitting right next to his keyboard. He looked up, startled, as I walked in without knocking. I pulled my security badge, my keys, my radio, and the building access cards off my belt and dropped them all on his desk right on top of his computer. "What the hell are you doing?" he demanded, suddenly sobering up. I smiled for the first time that night. "I'm choosing my daughter over your golf game. Hope you enjoy explaining to corporate tomorrow why their $50 million building was completely unmonitored all night." His face went white as he realized what that meant. "You can't just leave. What if something happens?" "Then I guess you'd better get down to that security desk," I said, instead of playing cards and drinking on company property. And I walked out. I drove straight to the hospital. Emma's surgery started at 6 a.m. and lasted 3 hours. When she finally woke up and whispered, "Hi, Daddy," in a stronger voice, I knew I'd made the right choice. 3 days later, I got a call from building management. Derek had been fired the moment the owner learned he'd left a multi-million-dollar facility unguarded for a golf game and that he'd been drinking on duty for months. They offered me Derek's supervisor position. A 40% raise. Day shift hours. I turned it down. My new job starts Monday. Security manager at a children's hospital. Day shift. Family first policy. The interviewer's very first question wasn't about availability or commitment, it was about work-life balance and how they support employees during family emergencies. Emma starts speech therapy next week. She's already planning what she wants to say first.